led impeachment attempts against him and investigations into last week's move in a televised speech. Now, the speech comes hours before the main liberal opposition Democratic Party submits a new impeachment motion against Yoon. The opposition party plans to put the motion on a floor vote Saturday, the 14th of December. Meanwhile, South Korean parliament has passed the bill on special counsel probe into its president's rebellion charge.
하루가 멀다 하고 다수의 힘으로 입법 폭고를 일삼고 오로지 방탄에만 혈안되어 있는 거대 야당의 의회 독재에 맞서 대한민국의 자유민주주의와 헌정 질서를 지키려 했던 것입니다. 그 길밖에 없다고 판단해서 내린 대통령의 헌법적 결단이자 통치 행위가 어떻게 내란이 될 수 있습니까? 대통령의 비상계엄 선포권 행사는 사명권 행사, 외교권 행사와 같은 사법심사의 대상이 되지 않는 통치 행위입니다.
A Bangladesh court has rejected the bail plea of Hindu priest Chinmoy Krishna Das on Wednesday. Now, Das has been arrested and jailed by the local authorities on charges of sedition. Local media reported that Chittagong Metropolitan Sessions Judge Mohammad Saiful Islam, who's on vacation, passed the order on Wednesday, citing that the plea was rejected because Das did not have a lawyer's letter of attorney on his behalf. The petition, which will be heard on the 2nd of January next year now, states that Das, a monk who is suffering from various diseases including diabetes and respiratory problems, has been arrested in a false and fabricated case. Foreign powers are racing to shape post-war Syria as various factions seek to fill the power vacuum left by Bashar al-Assad's overthrow. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Jordan and Turkey this week to push Washington's vision for a quote-unquote inclusive Syrian-led transition. Meanwhile, Turkey has moved to weaken Kurdish forces and expand its own influence in the country. Israel has carried out nearly 500 airstrikes on Syria in the last 2 days and has made ground incursions as well. This has prompted criticism from France. Meanwhile, Germany has said it would provide millions in humanitarian aid. According to reports, at least 4 people were injured late Wednesday night following a shooting attack in the West Bank. Paramedics said one of the casualties is in a serious condition. There has also been a rise in stabbing, shooting, and car ramming attacks against Israelis. US Secretary of State Antony Blinken has defended President Biden's decision to withdraw from Afghanistan. He appeared before the Republican-led House Foreign Affairs Committee, which has long pressed him about the deadly evacuation. Blinken has refused to take responsibility for the pre-exit decisions. He even urged that the Trump administration's actions weakened Biden's position, and intelligence assessments had predicted Kabul would remain under Afghan government control. His testimony followed a party line vote nearly 3 months ago, recommending that Blinken be held in contempt of Congress for refusing to appear earlier. India and the United Arab Emirates will carry out a comprehensive review of their strategic ties today. External Affairs Minister S.J. Shankar will be hosting his counterpart from the Gulf nation, Abdullah bin Zayed Al Nahyan, for wide-ranging talks. Al Nahyan, the deputy Prime Minister, is paying a 3-day visit to India to explore ways to further expand ties between the two countries in a range of areas, including trade and investment. CBS News is reporting that President-elect Donald Trump has sent out an invitation to Chinese President Xi Jinping for attending his inauguration next month. Now, Trump's inauguration officials are making plans for additional foreign dignitaries to attend the swearing-in ceremony. According to reports, Trump invited Xi in early November, shortly after the election, but it is not clear whether Xi has yet accepted the invitation or not. Federal Bureau of Investigation Director Christopher Wray has said he will resign before President-elect Donald Trump takes office next month. Now, Trump has indicated he would fire Wray. Wray announced at an internal FBI meeting on Wednesday that he had decided to step aside after weeks of consideration. Trump has already nominated Kash Patel, who has called for dramatically limiting the FBI's authority to lead the law enforcement agency. Mark Zuckerberg's Meta has donated $1 million to President-elect Donald Trump's inaugural funds. The donation comes 14 days after the Meta boss met with Trump at his Mar-a-Lago resort. It is indeed a major U-turn from 2020, when Meta banned Trump from its platforms after the January 6, 2021 insurrection. Fresh developments from the United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson's killing case. Police have found a positive match between the fingerprints of the prime suspect, Luigi Mangione, to those recovered on the crime scene. New York Police Department Commissioner Jessica Tisch confirmed that the fingerprints found on a water bottle and a protein bar near the crime scene matched those of 26-year-old suspect, who was arrested in Pennsylvania on Monday. According to a Bloomberg report, the US government is weighing new and harsher sanctions against Russia's lucrative oil trade. The Biden government is seeking to tighten the squeeze on Kremlin's war machine. Just weeks before Donald Trump returns to the White House, as per the report, details of the possible new measures are still being worked out, but Joe Biden's team is considering restrictions that might target some Russian oil exports. A United States intelligence assessment has concluded that Russia may use its new lethal experiment Oshnik missile against Ukraine again in the coming days. According to US officials, the missile is seen by US officials more as an attempt at intimidation than a game changer on the battlefield in Ukraine. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer greeted the Emir of Qatar, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani, during a state visit to Britain on Wednesday. On the second day of a two-day visit, Al Thani is scheduled to visit Westminster Abbey, a banquet at Buckingham Palace, and a meeting with the Princess of Wales. The Qatari Emir's visit also includes a trip to the Royal Military Academy and Sandhurst on Wednesday. Cristina Fernandez has been appointed the leader of opposition in Argentina, with the goal of reorganizing it to face the government of far-right Javier Milei. Now, Kirchner is the most influential political figure of the last 2 decades in Argentina. The 71-year-old is facing a conviction for fraudulent administration. She will now lead the Juristic Party, the Personas movement. While the Supreme Court decides on the open cases against her, the political leader can still run for public office without any restrictions. Hundreds of tractors blocked streets in central London on Wednesday. The latest protest by farmers against the government after it ended an exemption from an inheritance tax for agricultural families. Now the measure, dubbed the tractor tax by critics, was introduced by the government to boost funds to pay for strained public services, but farmers say it will destroy family farms and reduce food production. Farmers in the UK say their income has been squeezed over the years by Britain's competitive supermarket sector, cheap imports from abroad, and subsidy cuts following Brexit. A twin-engined propeller plane crashed onto a Texas highway on Wednesday afternoon, splitting in two and leaving debris scattered across the roadway. The Federal Aviation Administration said the only person on board the Piper PA-31 was the pilot. The pilot's name and the condition were not immediately released. 3 people have also been injured. One was transported to an out-of-town hospital for higher level of treatment. The FAA said it would investigate the crash.
Today, at approximately 3 p.m., officers responded to the area of the area that I just referenced an aircraft emergency. Upon arrival, officers observed a damaged plane with 3 damaged vehicles in the intersection. We are able to confirm that 5 people are involved and 4 have been transported. 3 were transported with non-life-threatening injuries, and 1 is being transferred to an out-of-town hospital for a higher level treatment. and the pilot is also being evaluated.
North Carolina lawmakers have enacted a law over the governor's veto on Wednesday that would diminish the powers afforded to his successor and other Democratic statewide winners in the November 5th elections. In a 72-46 vote, the Republican-dominated House overrode Democratic Governor Roy Cooper's veto a week after the GOP-controlled Senate voted to do the same. Opponents to the power-shifting bill sat in the gallery and disrupted the chamber's floor proceedings. More than 150 people gathered on the third floor, more than the House gallery could seat. They chanted shame as the override vote completed and continued to yell as they were squatted out.
James? Jenny? It's been 30 years. Where have you been?
Is that really a Hyundai?
It's Hyundai.
Hyundai?
If you think you know our cars and how to say our name, where have you been?
Dealing with my lot means making smart choices. And with our family growing, I want to protect the life we've built. That's why I'm calling Smart Insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
OK, you can choose a benefit amount up to £750,000 depending on your age.
Brilliant.
If you're a UK resident aged 18 to 64, you can apply with just a few health and lifestyle questions. For £250,000 of cover, the price starts at just £14.77 a month.
That's less than I thought. And could help my husband pay off the mortgage.
With our Smart Family Guarantee and 99% of claims having been paid, you'll have peace of mind.
I'll go ahead.
You'll also receive a 100% advance in the event of terminal illness and 10% cashback on your first year's premiums. That's the Smart Cashback. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Protect the life you've built the smart way. To get a free quote today, call our specialist UK team on 0800 977 5753 or visit smartinsurance.co.uk.
We know travel can be confusing, so let us inspire you. Welcome to Qatar. Experience it all. World-class hospitality, diverse landscapes from city to sea, and fly there with the Airline of the Year 2022, Qatar Airways. Book now at travelup.com or call 0207 580 5000. Travel Up, flights, hotels, holidays.
Some people think life slows down in your 50s, but I've got a few rounds left to go. And I don't want my lot to have to worry about funeral costs. Let them spend their money on nicer things. So I decided to learn more about over 50s life insurance from Cover Today. Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period, unlike other insurers who could make you wait up to 2 years for full cover. With Cover Today, you're fully covered from day one, and you're covered for the whole of your life. Plus, unlike other things in life, the price never goes up. Go online or talk to their friendly UK team in just one phone call.
Cover Today are the only over 50s life insurer with no waiting period and no annoying trips to the doctors either. Plus, you get your choice of a £125 gift card.
Now I'm with Cover Today, I can get on with something much more interesting.
To find out more about Cover Today, call our friendly UK team on 0800 380 0060 or visit covertoday.co.uk.
This Christmas, protect what matters to you with SimpliSafe. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Now, the US East Coast is experiencing a whiplash-inducing stretch of winter weather that's due in part to an atmospheric river and developing warm cyclone. The storm is bringing heavy rain and fierce winds to many areas until Wednesday night, and flooding is possible in some places. Utilities geared up for potential power outages from damage caused by winds that may exceed 60 miles per hour in certain areas. Various cities in northeastern China are being hit with heavy snow as a round of cold waves hits large parts of the country. Meanwhile, in Inner Mongolia, Snow that started on Monday left major roads covered in white and forced multiple expressways to shut down. Heavy snow started in Hai He City on Monday, disrupting traffic. Expressways were shut down, passenger travel via highways or railroads was suspended, and flights were cancelled. The Nasdaq reached the 20,000 point mark for the first time on Wednesday as a rally in technology stocks showed no signs of slowing down. The tech-heavy index rose 1.6% to an all-time high of 2,001.42 points. It has jumped more than 33% this year, outperforming the benchmark S&P 500 and blue-chip Dow, as technology megacaps including Nvidia, Microsoft and Apple add more heft to the index with their relentless surge. According to the Bloomberg Billionaires Index, Tesla CEO Elon Musk's net worth has surpassed $400 billion, setting a new milestone for the world's richest person. Now, Musk has added about $218 billion to his net worth since the start of 2024 alone, more than any other member of the group. Tesla's stock is up about 65% since just before the election, buoyed by expectations that Trump will streamline the rollout of self-driving cars and eliminate tax credits for the electric vehicles that help Tesla's competitors. Korea Air has said it had completed its protracted purchase of South Korean rival Asiana Airlines, making it one of Asia's biggest carriers. The $1.3 billion deal, the longest ever merger to complete between airlines, was first announced 4 years ago by South Korea's largest carrier to rescue debt-ridden Asiana, which was grappling with a plunge in demand during the COVID-19 pandemic. OPEC has cut oil demand growth forecast for this year and the next for a fifth straight month, making its deepest reduction to the 2024 outlook so far. This after agreeing to extend its supply curbs. The Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries chopped projections for consumption growth in 2024 by 210,000 barrels a day to 1.6 million barrels a day, according to its monthly report. The cartel has slashed projections by 27% since July as it belatedly recognizes the deteriorating market picture. PTW last week, the OPEC Plus alliance led by Saudi Arabia and Russia agreed for a third time to delay plans to restart halted crude production, which was also slowing the pace of increases once they do begin next year. The US dollar traded in a narrow range on Thursday after hitting a two-week high in the previous session, supported by a rise in US Treasury yields, even as the market players bet the US Federal Reserve will cut interest rates next week. The Aussie dollar surged after Australian employment beat forecasts, while the euro held steady ahead of the European Central Bank's monetary policy decision later on Thursday. The US Justice Department has asked an appeals court to reject an emergency bid by TikTok to temporarily block a lawsuit that would require its Chinese parent company ByteDance to divest the short video app by the 19th of January or face a ban. Now, TikTok and ByteDance on Monday filed the emergency motion with the US Courts of Appeals for the District of Columbia, pending a review by the US Supreme Court. According to Bloomberg News, Nvidia has added hundreds of staff in China this year to enhance its research capabilities and focus on new autonomous driving technologies. The report said that Nvidia has added about 200 people in Beijing to beef up a team of researchers working on self-driving vehicles. China has made steady progress in modernizing its agricultural sector and rural areas. According to official data, China ramped up grain production, poverty alleviation, and rural revitalization. China's grain output has remained stable above the 650 billion kilograms for 9 consecutive years now. It is expected that China will surpass 700 billion kilograms for the first time this year. India trained at the Gabba in Brisbane, the venue of the third test match against Australia of the Border Gavaskar Trophy series on Thursday. With the series tied at 1-1 currently, the visitors would be hoping to regain some magic of brilliant 3-wicket win at the Gabba from the 2021 tour. Indian wicketkeeper Rishabh Pant was the star of the victory, while India would need more contributions from their established stars like Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli this time around. Kohli is averaging 10 runs in the first innings of tests in 2024, while Sharma is at 8.66. FIFA officially confirmed that Saudi Arabia will host the 2034 World Cup in men's soccer, giving the oil-rich kingdom its biggest prize yet for massive spending on global sports. The Saudi bid was the only candidate and was acclaimed by the applause of more than 200 FIFA member federations. They took part remotely in an online meeting hosted in Zurich by the soccer body's president. Listen in.
Yes, the 2034 FIFA World Cup, the first of the new century, so to say, of World Cups, will be a spectacular event. What Saudi Arabia has put forward in their bid is absolutely incredible. It's unique. Saudi Arabia, a country that is opening up to the world since a few years with a modernization process which is full on track, and the FIFA World Cup will definitely be a catalyst there as well for social improvements and social change, and we'll work all together to open up Saudi Arabia even more to the world, to make sure that the world sees Saudi Arabia, that they witness the welcoming elements of Saudi Arabia, the nature, the culture, the food.
The 2024 World Chess Championship remained undecided with just one game remaining. China's Ding Liren and India's Gukesh Dommaraju played to draw in Game 13 on Wednesday. The series is currently tied at 6.5 to 6.5 points, heading into Thursday's last game of the best-of-14 final in Singapore. A player must score 7.5 points or more to win the $2.5 million championship tie. If the score is still level after 14 games, the winner will be decided by a tie-break day on Friday. India's women's doubles pairing of Trisa Jolly and Gayatri Gopichand Pulela make it to the semi-finals of the BWF World Tour Finals. Team India defeated Malaysia's Pearly Tan and Tina Muralitharan in straight sets of 21-19, 21-9 on Thursday. Now the victory eliminates the Malaysian pair from the competition. If Trisa and Gayatri win their last group match against Japan's Matsumiya and Shida, they will advance to the next round. Blue Ivy was joined by her parents Beyonce and Jay-Z at the premiere of Mufasa, the Lion King in Los Angeles. Blue Ivy is the voice of Kiara as she marks her first feature-length film role. Kiara is the daughter of Simba and Nala, with Nala being voiced by Blue Ivy's real-life mom Beyonce. The movie is set to release on the 20th of December. British designer John Galliano is leaving the Maison Margiela fashion house after 10 years as artistic director. The Paris-based brand owner said. No successor has been announced. Galliano made his runway debut with Maison Margiela in January 2015 with a small couture collection to a carefully selected audience of about 100 in London. It was the start of a comeback for the flamboyant designer who was dismissed from Christian Dior after he was caught on video making an anti-Semitic comment. Givenchy hired Galliano as a young head designer in 1995 before Christian Dior brought him on as a creative director the next year. For 15 years, his star rose with theatrical runway shows. Aaron Pierre, Kelvin Harrison Jr. and director Barry Jenkins, along with other Mufasa, the Lion King cast members, attended a photo call next to London's Tower Bridge on Wednesday. a choir performed Milele, an upcoming song from the photorealistic animated musical film, written by Lin-Manuel Miranda. The soundtrack will be released this Friday, the 13th of December. Netflix hosted the world premiere of the Squid Game Season 2 with a pink carpet event at the Dog Bendum Design Plaza in Seoul on Monday. The director Hwang Dong-hyu walked down the long stairways with pink guards standing on each side and greeted media. Now, cast members include Lee Jung-jae, Lee Byung-hung, Yim Si-won, Kang Ha-nul and V Ha-jun also posed at the photo call.
Imagine Christmas without the Salvation Army. Imagine George alone on Christmas Day. Mike, cold and frightened. Charlie, hoping Santa will come. Without the Salvation Army, many people would have nothing this Christmas. Please call 0800 028 9111 and give £19 to bring gifts and hope to vulnerable people this Christmas. That's 0800 028 9111. Thank you.
By playing People's Postcode Lottery, you've helped thousands of good causes. So thank you.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What needs now is love, sweet love. Love, sweet love.
Right, now, on to number 42.
Dreams come true, come to the other side. I can feel energy. I believe in healing me. All I need is sweet release in the freedom of the night. Freedom of the night.
Join me and the Style Squad. Shop now exclusively at Freeman's.
Get comfy this Christmas with Pillow Pad Fold Away from JML, the multi-angle viewing stand that makes any device easy to see, comfortable and hands-free. The plush microfiber ledge holds any device securely at the perfect viewing angle, and it comes with a handy storage compartment. It's a great gift for sofa surfers. Whether you're sitting, lounging or lying down, get the perfect view with Pillow Pad Fold Away. Only $19.99 from Asda, Argos, Boots, Tesco and jmldirect.com.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news is here.
From interesting tech startups to industry-leading companies, politics, sports, culture, curry, cricket. Oh, there's so much to talk about. Like me, if you too thrive on interesting conversations, this is a show you cannot miss. Watch this space to know more about all matters and all people that make Britain what it is today. Out of Britain, with me, Radhika Iyer.
In today's interconnected world, India's voice is more crucial than ever. When India speaks, the world listens. At NDTV World, we are that voice, bringing you intelligent and insightful news from India and beyond. From geopolitics and diplomacy to economic shifts, migrations, tech disruptions, and the stories of our diaspora. We cover the news that shapes our global future. NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
I now request the Honorable Prime Minister to launch NDTV World and address the summit.
It was the grand launch of NDTV World by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. NDTV World, as he laid out his vision for the India century at the NDTV World Summit.
ऐसी सदी जिसमें भारत के प्रयासों से दुनिया में स्थिरता आए.
In the presence of those who are shaping our future.
मेरी तरफ से आपको ढेर सारी शुभकामनाएं हैं.
NDTV World, your new home for global news, is here.
सर सबसे ज्यादा ब्लॉकबस्टर फिल्में